Good morning and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Onwards and Upwards Explore New Career Series number 3, brought to you by InvestPenang and Penang Cat Center. My name is Zaiem from InvestPenang and I will be your MC for today's session. Before introducing the speakers, here are some notes to all participants. Please be informed that this 1.5-hour webinar is being recorded and participants will be in listen and view only mode during this session. If you would like to ask any question, feel free to type your question and specify to which speaker the question goes to in the Q&A box on your Zoom screen. We will address the questions during the Q&A session later. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce our distinguished speakers. Our first speaker is Mr. Zaiem Meah, HR Director of LAM Malaysia. Mr. Zaiem has great passion in leadership development. His career goal has always simply been to make a difference, and he envisions for the HR department to be a valued business partner and a catalyst to the business and people. Next, we have Ms. Wei Su Yin, Accounting Director, APJ Revenue Accounting of DELL Technologies. She has 20 years of experience at DELL Technologies, spanning across various finance and accounting functions, such as accounting, ERP deployment, best value migration, shared services, mergers and acquisitions, global financial services, financial planning and analysis. The third speaker is Ms. Xia Hui Ping, Regional Finance Director of Analog Devices. Ms. Xia carries more than 17 years of manufacturing finance and shared service experience, spanning across global ops finance, business units finance, R&D finance, sales and marketing finance, and financial accounting fields. As a key player in the finance organization expansion strategy, she led various transition programs from US, Canada, Germany, and other Asia sites to Malaysia. She believes in staying positive and being ahead of what's possible brings success. Then we have Ms. Koay Lin, Group Chief Financial Officer of Greatech Technology Berhad. Ms. Koay oversees financial reporting, treasury management, corporate finance, human resource management, management information system, and EHS functions of the group. Ms. Koay also has extensive knowledge in industrial automation industry. Now, to start off this session, I would like to invite Mr. Zaiem, HR Director of LAM Malaysia, for his sharing entitled Evolve Your Career at LAM Research. Over to you, Mr. Zaiem.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's doing fine. Can we go to the next slide? So most of you would have heard of LAM. We had our extremely large one-year anniversary celebration about 2 weeks ago. And what's cool about the whole thing is that every device, this laptop, the phone, and all these things actually have been made with LAM products. So to be in a company like LAM is essentially to be involved in the next technological marvel that's going to come out, right? Almost every device with a chip was made with LAM, and LAM is also the first wafer fab equipment manufacturer to actually invest and open up in Malaysia. Can we go to the next slide? Right. So, and imagine being one of the first to invest in Malaysia and also to be a global leader in wafer fab equipment. LAM has been around for 40 years, so it's really got that track record of being this global leader. We've grown 12,000 employees across 4 continents, right? We continue to grow in Malaysia. We have actually chosen to set up our plant in Batu Kawan, right? And overall revenue that we've generated is 12 billion. And we continue to increase the revenue that we're getting, right? And I'll share those stats with you in a short while. On the right, you will see that we actually, these are our core products, and very much something to be very proud of is the fact that both deposition and etch products will be made in Malaysia will be made in Batu Kawan, and it's already being made. The first few launches are already being made, and will continue down that path throughout and to become what you'll see later as the largest factory for LAM Research, right? Okay, we can go to the next slide. This is what drives LAM. So as I mentioned earlier, in the 40 years that we've been present, we've strived to be the top when it comes to wafer fab equipment. What has guided us throughout this process of being at the top is being number one and having the right guiding principles and the right core values. So these guiding principles are essentially, we want to be number one in customer trust. So how do we be number one in customer trust? One of the main things when you're number one in customer trust is to actually continue to deliver, be accountable, and go down that path, right? This is very HR relevant. We want to not just attract, we also want to retain and develop the best talent that we have out there, right? We want to be able to continue to attract good, and we want to grow them in LAM. We don't want them to just come here, and we don't want to milk them. We want to grow them. We want to retain them over a period of time. You will see at LAM, there are so many employees with 20, 30-year tenure in the company. And the reason for that is because there has been continuous change in career and growth that has enabled them to keep going and stay with the company for so long. We also want to deliver the best-in-class solutions. And by delivering the best-in-class solutions, we actually need to make money, right? I mean, as a company, it is imperative that we make money and achieve our financial goals. The second last bullet, think customer, company, and individual. When you think about customer, company, individual, LAM's demand is heavily driven by customers, right? So the company will have to align itself to customer demand. So that is how we translate that to our employees. Think of what's good for the customer. Think about what's good for the company. And only then think about what's good for every one of the individual business groups or individual employees at the company. And finally, always have in your mind, would this actually build a better world? Will this build a better place, right? So this are the guiding principles that we've come up with at LAM. Can we go to the next slide? So this is our leadership. During our big one-year anniversary, our CEO actually visited Malaysia, which is very nice, along with Pat Lord, the EVP of CSBG and Global Operations. We also had a few other VIPs from Singapore and the US. So that is our leadership team. Just a brief overview for all of you. Keep going to the next slide. So as I mentioned earlier, right, the company keeps growing. There is a global semiconductor shortage out there, and this has really fueled our growth. One of the major reasons for expansion into Penang would be the continued growth of and demand for our products. Very solid revenue for Q-June. We foresee that we will continue down this path at least for another 2 or 3 quarters. We don't see the demand shrinking, which is great. Keep going to the next slide. So in short, you're joining a very financially solid company. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we want to be number one in customer trust. So if you look at our products, we are number one and number two in most of our product types. The deposition and etch, we are number one in a few areas, and we're number two in others. And in clean as well, we're number one actually. So what you will see is that we're building all these products in Malaysia, and it's definitely something new for the company. It's something new for the country. And I think that is the key growth or key milestone that will enable us to actually go to the next level, to continue to grow, to continue to be a better organization, and also be able to fulfill our customer demand, continue to be number one in customer trust. Can we go to the next slide? So most of you would think, oh, LAM is new, right? Actually, LAM has been in the region since 1992. That is 30 years almost, right? And what you will see is that we even had an office in Kulim about 4 or 5 years ago. We set this up to support our customers and also to fulfill the customer demand, so to speak. What we will see is that at that point, we actually had a field service organization. This is a very small team that would head out to the customer office and troubleshoot products, help us repair. We do have customers in Kulim, so that's why we set up our customer base in Kulim. And then came in 2020, the big announcement of the setup of our manufacturing plant in Batu Kawan. And subsequently in 2021, the official opening of our Batu Kawan site. Can you go to the next slide? So what you will see is that when we decided to open the largest manufacturing facility in Malaysia, we had to put a lot of thought into it. It was a pretty large investment. It was a sizable investment. It was USD 250 million, possibly up to 1 billion ringgit, right? If you do the math, what you'll see is that we needed to go through some evaluation, right? And some of the evaluation, can you go to the next slide? Hello, next slide, please. Thank you. So some of the evaluation areas, criteria that we looked at was supply chain, logistics, and also the availability of great talent, right? So when we selected Malaysia, first criteria, we wanted a supply chain that could be localized so we can get our products and the parts that we procure easily and quickly. We also wanted to make sure that there's the right infrastructure to ship our products, right? By air, by sea, by land, we need to ensure that the logistics infrastructure is in place. And number 3, I guess this is a shout out to the folks at InvestPenang and Meah. The investment environment in Malaysia is really conducive. It is suitable and encourages us to come in there, enable LAM Research to commit and build its business on time. Further to that, and this is very much a Penang statement, right? We've had so many MNCs, so many great success stories in the state that it has enabled us to attract the right investment onto the site. And most importantly is all of you here, all of you listening to me today, there is a large talented workforce with experience in high-tech fields. You guys are familiar with working in engineering, familiar with working in production planning. So all these are what we call adjacent skills that we can tap into, train and specify them into LAM's official method and certification process, right? So what you will see on the right is our manufacturing facility, as well as our official opening ceremony about 2 weeks ago. Next slide. Right, so this is just a footprint statement. You will see that we have Batu Kawan amongst all the other sites that we've had in the past and continue to grow in all these sites in view of the continued demand. Next slide, please. So most of you will be most interested in this. We are continuing to expand our hiring and we continue to hire. And when I took this job, they told me it'll be 400 people by end of this year. Now we have expanded well past 600 in terms of goals for 2021. Next slide. Right. And one thing as a new employer in the company, we don't have the brand. So we need to establish the brand as one that attracts talent. So we've employed the 3 strategies that you see on the screen. University relations, we partner with various universities. We've identified 3 for 2021 and we'll continue to expand that. So we can actually hire fresh grads as well as trainees and interns into the company. We also have a strong emphasis on inclusion and diversity, right? Labor participation for females in Penang is still growing. And therefore, we want to tap into that market. We want to be able to grow into that market. And most importantly, we want to align with our guiding principles, give all of you, our employees, an opportunity to develop and grow their career at LAM, right? So next slide. Right, so although we've been here just 12 months, we really make it a point to have a lot of presence and engagement with the community in the country. We've worked with various other organizations. We've worked with InvestPenang. We've made donations to various hospitals in the COVID fight. We've also helped to launch our Women in GOPS program, which also is an outreach program for the broader organization. That you will see me a lot in these photos. So I do a lot of these activities. And the whole purpose is to support the community, build relations, as well as establish that sense of pride. And as LAM as an employee of choice, right? You want to work in a company where you're proud of, right? So we'll keep going. Next slide, please. So I guess this is the sales pitch, right? I hope that the bars at the side don't entirely block you. I hope you guys have been able to minimize that. You can scan the QR code on the bottom right, and you'll be able to see our list of vacancies. I only put in the buckets of vacancies because, as I mentioned, we have very many vacancies. So I encourage you to scan the QR code and see what positions are available. At the moment, the skill sets that we're really looking for are in supply chain, business analyst, and manufacturing, as well as manufacturing engineering. Okay, so I look forward to your applications. Can you go to the next slide? This is another sales slide. What you'll see is we are present on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. So I encourage all of you to also come in here and visit all these sites. If you are actually really interested in joining LAM, I also encourage you to use our YouTube video. There's a lot of informative videos there that you can visit and look at. What you'll see is I put in a picture of 2 of our interns that have joined us. So even though we've been here only 1 year, we've already hired 50 interns. Out of that, we're hiring, the first batch was 20. 17 of them have decided to join us as permanent staff. So we're very excited about that. And we continue to grow this program to continue to hire interns into LAM. I believe that is my last slide. And I have 1 minute left, which is perfect timing. All right, that's it from me. If we could go to the last slide, closing slide. That's it. Okay, over to you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Zaiem. Just a reminder, if you would like to ask any question during the session, please type your question and specify to which speaker the question goes to in the Q&A box on your Zoom screen. Your question will be addressed during the Q&A session. Okay, now, please welcome Ms. Wei Su-yin, Accounting Director, APJ Revenue Accounting of DELL Technologies, to share on unlocking potentials early in the game. Over to you, Ms. Wei.
Thank you very much, Yan. Hi, everyone. Good morning. And I'm Su-yin. I'm here to talk to you about our company, DELL Technologies, and also talking a bit about, how you should actually unlock your potentials really early in the game, right? Even at entry level. And you do need to find a company to partner with you in this development journey. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so DELL, whenever we talk about DELL, we think of our founder, Michael Dell, who started this company almost 40 years ago from his dorm room in University of Texas, right? So almost 40 years later, now with the merging with EMC, we are now DELL Technologies, and it's one of the largest technology company in the world. With our last year's revenue is 94 billion USD. And you can see that we have presence globally across the 3 continents, right? So in Asia Pacific, Malaysia is one of the key hubs that has been present for almost 24 years. And across the world, we hire about 158,000 employees. Okay. If you move into the next slide, we can look at the Malaysia footprint more. So as you can see, Penang, SWTC, so named after Dato Simon Wong. And it's actually the main hub for a lot, like our accounting and finance, right? One of the key hubs in Asia Pacific as well as global, where we do a lot of finance and accounting functions, sales, customer support, technical support. And over at Bukit Minyak, established in 2001, is our manufacturing facilities, and now further being upgraded into the Center for Software Engineering and Configuration Services. And lastly, in Cyberjaya, which is added in 2007, right now is our global IT and services hub. So in the Malaysia footprint, 6.6K employees, with 70% of the workforce actually under Gen Y. And CFO means the accounting and finance headcount, right? It's about more than 1,000, and we're continuing to expand. And, you know, I've been in DELL for 20 years and have seen a lot of changes. But one of the change that I, you know, take pride in is last year in March, you know, our global COO, you know, in view of the pandemic, announced to us and say, look, employee safety is utmost important. So we are going to pivot everybody in the finance and accounting department to work remotely. And we did that within the same week, right? It wasn't easy, right? I, for one, have never thought we could actually close our operations 100% remotely and just everybody pivot to work from home within that week, right? But we did it, right? And until now, right? Because Malaysia were not, you know, really safe to return to site yet, we are still 100% remote for all our finance and accounting team members, as well as some of the peripheral team members who, whenever possible, you know, could work from home. Okay. If we move to the next slide. Okay, I talk about, you know, unlocking potentials, right? And it should be at every level. But the pandemic has actually reset a lot of things. One of it is actually accelerate digital transformation. So now when we look at things, right, we want to embrace and lead with technology mindset, because human and machine partnership is inevitable, right? So, you know, on the left quadrant, we want all of our employees, irrespective of what field you are, to be exposed on the art of possibilities of what technology is capable of, how does it impact our work, so that we can shape our future and not be made redundant by technologies, right? On the right-hand side quadrant, hey, we have to continue to upskill ourselves, right? Whether it's hard skills, soft skills, data literacy is very, very important. We talk about big data, but more importantly is drawing meaningful insights from all this big data. And not only just drawing meaningful insights, important skills about, you know, how you're able to communicate, how you're able to communicate complex in the simplest form so that decisions can be made very quickly. We can adapt to change, course correct as and when we need to. And then, of course, agility, right? At every level, be prepared to, you know, take on new jobs, right? Be prepared to, you know, upgrade your skill sets, not just for the newcomers, but also for leaderships, right? That mindset to relearn and rethink. So that's why, you know, we really, really want to make sure that, you know, we also develop the future-ready leaders, right? In view of, you know, this ever-changing world. Right. If we move to the next slide. So here are some of the examples of how we leverage technologies. And today I'll be primarily focusing on finance and accounting when I later talk about the programs that we have. But I just want to show that, you know, technology is for every field. I mean, we adopted RPAs, to automate a lot of these repetitive tasks, so that we can actually focus our finance and accounting team members to more analytics, to more handling the exceptions, to move from, kind of being very reactive mode to more preventive, right, and predictive, right? So we also do machine learning and AI, improve our analytics, put a lot of our systems under cloud-based so that it can actually enhance collaboration globally, use a lot of data visualization to BI, Python, Tableau, and eventually, have that North Star vision to integrate everything together so that we can quickly digitally transform. Because I think with DELL Technologies, one of the key things that happened last year is, when the pandemic hit, the first thing we try to do is how to make sure all our customers can effectively just switch from, being in the office to remote, right? And to do that, we have to do it ourselves, right? So we see a really huge change in terms of how we do things. And, that kind of shape, how we see the next leapfrog into the future. Next slide, please. So in order to do all these things, right, human capital is very, very, very important. So today I'm talking about the finance and accounting career journey in DELL, where development is in our DNA. So as you can see across here, we actually have leadership development programs throughout every stage of your career, whether it is entry level, right, which today I'm going to focus on, all the way to mid-career, early executive, and even senior leaderships. We believe skill sets keeps on evolving, hard and soft skills, right? That's why I keep saying about the, relearn and rethink. So development is a lifelong journey, and we make sure this is part of our culture, right? You can come in, we can train you, we expose you to different skill sets because we believe you bring different values, and we could also, partner with the very established development programs that we have. So the orange box there, and I'll be talking about finance development program and accounting development program. And you will hear me use this acronym FDP, standing for Finance Development Program, and ADP, Accounting Development Programs. So these two programs is essentially different from a normal hire. This is actually a leadership program, but we are taking candidates from our internship or fresh grads from university, right? If you have what it takes in terms of meeting the entry requirements, if you have strong leadership potentials, strong communication skills, you bring something different to the table and you show us, you're most welcome to apply. But I do need to mention that because it's a leadership development program, it is definitely more demanding, right? We required you to do a day job as well as, doing certain certifications throughout the way, as well as, some global projects, something slightly beyond entry level, but we believe, right, if you can be pressure tested, that's where, and this is the path where you actually can accelerate your career with us. Okay, moving on to the next slide. So I'll start with internship program. So we have about 4 to 6 months internship program where you come in, right? Some of you could be still in the final year of your university. We'll come in, we'll train you on, the hard and soft skills like, Microsoft 365, show you about, the RPA, advanced analytics that we do in finance and accounting. We make sure you're trained, right, to eventually do a business presentation because you will be on top of, exposing you to a day job, you'll be asked to also do an individual business project, take a process to improve it or a process to automate it. You will also be needed to collaborate with a group of other interns and some of our employees as well, because we believe that no man's an island and you have to, be able to be collaborative. And then at the end of your internship period, you do need to present, right, to senior leadership. The reason being, we want to see, right, engage what level you are, whether we put you under normal hire or be included as part of the development program, right? And then the next one, next slide, please. Okay, so this one is the Accounting Development Program and Finance Development Program. So this one, we actually offer a market premium salary. You'll be paid higher than a normal hire, right? Reason being, like I mentioned, this is a leadership program. So we want to make sure that you're well compensated for your effort and a very intense program. Now, salary aside, you will have rotational opportunities. You have opportunity to network with our global teams. And if you do really well, international assignment opportunities. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the difference between the two programs. I'm sorry, the slide before. This is the difference between the two programs. For Accounting Development Program, it's 3 years. You'll go through 3 different accounting rotations, and you're expected to be fully certified as an accountant, right? And we will reimburse you, right? Give you full sponsorship so that you obtain your professional certification. So 3 years later, you'll be a certified accountant, right? Just like if you were to join audit. But on top of that, right, we'll make sure you're being developed and rotate into these different areas. For Finance Development Program, it's a 2 years duration program, and you do 4 different rotations within a 6 months assignment, right? And then you do not need to do any certification, but you will have to go through a series of trainings and globally aligned exam to make sure that you retain all the business and finance acumen that we need you to do the job. Next slide, please. So these are the various rotations, right? As you can see, very broad-based within accounting and finance. I'm not going to read through all this, but essentially it's very broad-based because we want to develop the breadth in your experience. Next slide, please. So in terms of qualification, you can see that, CGPA 3.4 and above, right? Results is one thing, but more importantly, I think we want to talk to you to gauge and see whether you are a leader or not. So communication skills, leadership, your problem solving skills, more importantly, your propensity to learn, right? If you have any global experience or any data science, IT or automation skills, some of you have accounting as well as IT degree, feel free to apply. We want to talk to you, okay? Next slide, please. I do also want to mention for those who wants to get certification, right, especially accounting certification, we are approved employees for all these accounting professional bodies, right? And we'll be able to provide the necessary training, credits, hours, as well as working experience. Okay. Next slide, please. All right. So, as I mentioned, right, we have been fully remote for more than a year, right? And we are going to continue to be that until it is safe for us to go back to the office to work, right? So we have things like connected workplace, right? Tools to make sure that we can continue to do the job well. More importantly, we're also aware, right? With working from home, there's social isolation, right? What about your mental health? We want to make sure that there is, a way for you to connect. So there's a lot of global wellness platform, as well as employee resources group, right? So that you can still connect with people, right? And don't feel socially isolated. So we do a lot of community service, as if you can move to the next slide. Right, I mean, we donated to GH, to children homes, animal shelters. If you move to the next slide. Shout out to frontliners, homeless. We want to make sure we, give back, right? Because we feel very blessed that it was business as usual, right, throughout the entire pandemic. Okay, next. Yep, so join us, right? The emails will be available. And I'm going to just, I think we can pause here and then maybe move on to the videos. We have a 2-minute video. We really want you to hear from our program participants. And we do have other jobs available as well. And if you just go into our website. Okay, if you can run the video, please.
When I learned about working remotely, I was scared and confused because I had no idea how this works. But since the day I onboarded with a lot of help from the DELL employees, I have found my way through it. And now I'm happily working from home, and I also learned on how to balance my life and my work.
It was full of friendship, full of connections and networking, and also full of professional and also life development.
DELL is so much at the forefront of technology and innovative solutions that the way our culture is built is that we're always looking ahead, looking at what's next, what is the next leap from innovation.
ADP is a world-class development program, and I really appreciate the opportunity given to travel to different countries to attend global conferences where I get to network with my global peers, make many valuable connections, and to broaden my network. Upon graduating from the program, I was equipped with both technical and soft skills, global exposure, and also a wide connection to help me perform better in my day-to-day role.
Encompassing.
Exposure.
Outstanding.
Exciting.
Opportunities.
Empowerment.
All right, that concludes our sharing. DELL hires a broad base of disciplines, right? So even though today I'm just branding finance and accounting, you can go into our website, to look at the other job openings, normal hires as well. But for those who think, you have what it takes and you can bring value to the table, I strongly encourage you to, find out more about our accounting and finance development program. With this, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Back to you,
Ms.
Yen. Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we enter to the third sharing session, we would like to present to you our My Penang, My Workplace testimonial video series entitled Sky's the Limit. Please enjoy the video.
The industry that Penang has is not just limited to one scope, it's actually super diverse.
Penang has all these quite notable companies that provide me those kind of opportunities.
Hi, I'm Nadia. So I'm actually the Strategic Program Development Manager here at Clarivate, Malaysia.
I'm Guan Chin, and you can call me Casey, and I'm currently the Marketing Manager at Clarivate.
So to me, I wanted to break those kind of stereotypes. Of course, Penang is home. I wanted the chance to come back home and to say that, hey, despite all this, I can apply my education in different ways. Penang, I think, is a place that is very rich in different industries, right? Number one, we are an FTZ area. We certified as an FTZ area. We have over 300 multinational companies based out here. So what I love about Penang, the fact that it's rich by itself culturally, whether it is with food, it is with the people, or even with nature, right? And it's the perfect cross balance between urbanization and heritage, I would say.
Where I live in now, I can just go to the cafe and grab a cup of coffee. Very convenient. And I think the price is also quite acceptable, reasonable.
When you live in a very high-end location, so irrelevant of your earnings, right, the expenses is still very high. But if you want to see some form of, to have some savings and have a good quality of life, Penang is the perfect choice for it.
I would say be bold, take a very bold step to settle in Penang, because this state has its potential and its uniqueness.
There's always talent, better opportunities elsewhere, but Penang is a market that gives you that same opportunity with a better quality of life, with a very good cost of living. So take the chance, take the risk, and I'm sure that you would be happy with the end results. And this is My Penang, My Workplace.
This is My Penang, My Workplace.
Moving forward, we have Ms. Xia Hui Ping, Regional Finance Director of Analog Devices, for her sharing entitled Ahead of What's Possible. Over to you, Meah.
Thank you, Yan. Good morning, and I welcome everyone to InvestPenang Onwards and Upwards Series number 3. I'm Meah, the Regional Finance Director of Analog Devices. Next, please. I'm sure every speaker here have a story to tell, and I'd like to spend a couple of minutes, just particularly in this slide, to share my once upon a time and to share 3 major success factors that I strongly believe in. You know, when I first graduated, I applied for jobs at several companies. I'm very, very lucky. I received 2 offers from 2 distinguished companies. I don't know what to choose. And unfortunately, during that time, we didn't have career talk like this. So you should be very, very thankful to InvestPenang for organizing this career talk and for connecting us together. So back to the story. I started asking around and was told that one of the company offers a very specialized scope. And that could be a more stressful environment, but it provides excellent benefit. Whereas the other one, well, the benefit may not be that good, but the profile is exactly what I want. And in fact, the company is seen as an easier start probably. Well, I choose the one that gives me what I wanted and thinking that it might be less stressful. Well, guess what? I ended up being assigned with a huge portfolio. And thankfully, I'm very passionate and enthusiastic. I can be beaten up, but I don't give up. So my point is, nothing is guaranteed. Your attitude is the key towards success or failure. If I complain and gave up at that time, I know I won't be where I am today. Well, I'm thankful of, and what I look for in my career journey is a very positive environment. I believe that the right start at the right place at the right time for the right boss is very important at early stage of your career. And what I wanted is just a borderless and politic-free environment that gives me the chance and allows me to concentrate and to learn as much and as fast as possible. Well, that's for my learning. Now, second point here, I would absolutely love working in an environment or a place where I am valued, I am recognized and respected, not discriminated by my age or gender. Well, my idea or feedback will also be won't be put aside just because I'm inexperienced. The third consideration that you're seeing here is a little bit down the career path. Can the company offers me with healthy growth as well as a good development plan? Was there a chance for me to get the kind of exposure, the rotation that I want, and the recognition that I deserve? If I wish to take a cross-country assignment, if I prove my worthiness, will I be considered or chosen? Or do I need to wait until all the senior staff had gotten their chance before I can get mine? This is way too long that I'll need to wait. Well, these are questions that you should ask. Why am I saying this? I wanted to relate all these 3 points to you in 2 directions, whereby first, which I have expressed from a standpoint when I was young and when I was a fresh graduate myself. Secondly, I wish to relate our company, Analog Devices, to these 3 key factors that I just mentioned earlier. So on the first point here, learning. I'm sure you learn well wherever you go. What's the difference about our company is we only began hiring fresh grads starting 2018 when ADI acquired Linear, which our company in Penang started off as Linear. In the past, Linear only hires experienced employees. Fast working 3 years from then. Today in ADI Penang, fresh graduates had accounted 15% of our total office staff population. Well, 15%, only 15%? What does it mean? It means 2 things. First, it's still not saturated. We're actively looking for young, talented, energetic people like you. We have enough experienced coach and seniors in this company to guide you. And I think it's very important because you don't want to be left stranded in an environment, unknown environment too. And from the other side of the coin, when we say we wanted fresh grads, just see how fast we grow from 0% to 15% in 3 years. Second point, as I speak about being valued and recognized, in ADI, we look for hardworking and smart people. We value your ideas. So long as you are proactive in taking steps forward and attempt, we value you through equal chance of taking parts in projects, transitions, expansion programs, cross-country assignments. We have different reward systems to recognize outstanding individuals. Well, this brings me to the third important point. In ADI, we assign projects based on your ability, your passion, your performance, not based on age or seniority. In fact, before the COVID takes place, the chosen employees that gets to go to US are in fact fresh graduates who have demonstrated their worthiness. So though you are not as experienced as others, I'm very sure that you have your strength. You are creative, you're full of energy, and you can learn very fast. And I'm one of the good examples when it comes to developing local talent, because I was promoted from a financial controller to regional director role, where this used to be a role that's stationed in headquarters, which is in US. So instead of hiring externally, internal candidates are considered, and Penang is considered. In fact, ADI Penang hires 100% local talent, including all the way from our managing director, all the department head, to all our employees. So we're looking for bright, energetic, hardworking, and smart employees in our company. Next, please. You can proceed. Thank you. So who are we? We're Analog Devices. Our headquarters is in Boston, Massachusetts. We're 4 hours journey from New York. We've been in this industry for more than 5 decades. We're a very highly profitable company, carrying 70% of gross margin, which means profit sharing is very good. It also means that if our manufacturing cost is $3, our selling price is $10. The remaining $7 is actually our gross margin. We serve more than 100,000 customers. That means we are a very diversified and low-risk company. Any uptick in market segment, it benefits us. Next, please. Our major manufacturing footprint includes wafer fabrication sites in Boston, Washington, and Ireland. Our back-end operations for wafer sort, assembly, test, mark, and pack are located in Penang, Philippines, and Singapore. Next, please. ADI is a very ambitious company. Just over the short 7 years, we had already acquired 7 companies, big and small, including some major acquisitions. For example, Hittite, Linear Technology, and Maxim. Next, please. So question, what does ADI do? Well, just imagine, we capture the smallest form of signals, for example, sound, wave, light, temperature, speed, motion, pressure, all of these that were analog in nature, and converting them into digital signals to allow processing. Sounds very sophisticated. Well, in layman term, just imagine, digital ICs requires input in order for them to operate and to process. So all signals that I've just talked about just now are all analog input. The more digitalization that's required in this era, the more analog ICs will be needed. And not many players in this market that knows how to make analog ICs. We are one of the great players here. We bring breakthrough technology innovations across various industries, from data center to electric vehicles, its infotainment systems, next generation communications, 5G, healthcare, and consumer products. Next, please. Now, all the way from embedded to cyber physical experiences, from conventional automation to industry 4.0, lights off kind of environment, to digitalization, handheld mobile healthcare devices, AR, VR, are creations that led enormous values created at various customer sites. Next. Our products is in everything that you can see, you can use and experience surrounding you, all the way from aerospace, military, automation, communication, consumers, energy, healthcare, industrial automation, you name it. Every single thing that you could imagine, you can see. So let me quote a couple of examples here. Over the next decades, electric vehicles is expected to increase over 15 folds. We are the market share leader in electric vehicles battery management system. Not just that, but also autonomous vehicle where no one is required to drive the car. Audio systems, its infotainment systems, and road noise cancellation. Our products and technology continuously monitor oceanographic conditions, which supports our commitment to achieving carbon neutrality by 2030. Cobots, robots, those requires sensing and control technology, which is also supported by our motion control business. Our products are also used widely in healthcare systems such as ECG, blood pressure measuring systems, respiration measurement, which is so critical, especially during this COVID, wearable health monitors, CT scan, X-ray, ultrasound, spectrometers. And our major customers are huge. It involves everyone like Tesla, General Motors, Toyota, Hyundai, Apple, Cisco, Samsung, Intel, Keysights, Bose, Bosch, LG, Panasonic, Olympus, Omron, you name it. Many of them carries our products in it. That's why we very much recognize the importance of having very high quality employees in our team. Next, please. Next, please. Well, we are recognized by Forbes, Fortune 500, Derwent, and many others more for our industry leadership. Next. So let me give you a short tour to our company, Analog Devices in Penang. Now today we have 1,700 employees, and we specialize in assembly, wafer sort, and test. In fact, Penang site here has been promoted to become the center of excellence for ADI, wafer sort, and complex products. It means the entire ADI worldwide wafer sort activities and micromodule activities will be centralized into Penang. This is a success story that we want you to participate. The transfer activities, the expansion, the cross-country assignment is still ramping up like crazy and ongoing. Imagine your chance to be one of the key players in our success story here. Next. No difference from every other company. We take pride in paying our social responsibilities. We're involved in various donation drives and CSR to the less fortunate during the challenging moments before and during COVID. Next again. We placed a lot of emphasis on our people development engagement, which includes ADI Global Early Employee Challenge. GIG sounds very, very odd, but what it means is we bring all the fresh grads, new hires together to turn their ideas into products using ADI chips. So they get to present their ideas to CEO. And in this competition, the leaders, the winners, not just take home the awards, but their products will be developed into ADI products. The high-performing fresh grads also get to attend coffee chat with our managing directors in Penang, regional VP in Singapore, and even chief of staff and COO in US. Prior to this pandemic, it was a physical one, but now because of pandemic, well, the thing is it doesn't stop our connectivity while we transition to conducting the coffee chat virtually. So we have also Toastmasters Club to provide you with an excellent environment to polish your presentation skills and public speaking skills. And for interns who joins us, we will provide trainings on how to excel in interview and how to write good resumes, how to improve your presentation skills to get you prepared into the industry. Women Leadership Program to offer coaching and encouragement to promote opportunities and also growth plan in women in this specifically E&E industries. And we also have symposiums to present ideas on how to improve current process, qualities, and performances, where you will be rewarded for ideas for implementing them. And not to mention service award for people who stayed with us for more than 5 years. So in fact, we do have many employees who are very loyal and who have stayed with us for more than 20 years. Next. So what we offered in ADI is on-job learning, which is the most effective approach combined with learning from others and formal learning. We empower employees to own their development, tell us how ambitious you are and what you want, so that we can make sure that responsibilities, projects are given to you to help you reach your fullest potential. We encourage regular forward-looking conversations to make sure that employees sees the connections between their work and the impact to the business and how they can contribute to the company. We develop great leaders at every level of the organization, from leading yourself to leading the team. And we're committed to the internal mobility of our employees, whether it means growing in a place, exploring careers at the next level, or in other countries. Next, please. In our search for the great talent, we focus on local talent. 100% of our employees are local, all the way ranging from operators to management and senior management. We also establish very good relationship with government bodies such as SOXO and JTK. We collaborate with local universities and technical colleges to offer career opportunities. At the same time, we also provide upskilling programs through partnership with polytechnics around Prague to customize diploma program for technicians and upskilling skills. And we have various internal engagement programs that I've mentioned in the earlier slides for developing our talents. Next. Our corporate also offers ADI Garage as a research and development center. This infrastructure is dedicated to create breakthrough technologies, capabilities, and business models critical to ADI future success. In short, we, ADI, provides a comprehensive environment for you to plan, own, and develop your career roadmap. And most importantly, you must be passionate to develop yourself in order for us to help you. Next. I'd like to share Next, please. Thank you. I'd like to share some fabulous opportunities that ADI offer. We hire engineers, fresh grads, experienced or fresh, IT planners and technicians, and many more. Feel free to visit our website or contact adpg_recruitment@analog.com. And this is also available in the InvestPenang website. Next. Last but not least, I'd like to share an exciting update. ADI Penang is growing, like I said. We're in the midst of constructing a 7-story building at our backyard, which consists of 5-story production floor, 1 office floor, as well as 1 story of employee recreation center that includes sports arena, gym, auditorium. we welcome you to join. And before I end, I'd just like to emphasize that ADI is building a success story as we grow the Penang site. We have seniors that you can learn from. The company values your energy, your ideas, your differences, be it fresh grads or experienced. We want you to shine. We want you to be successful. So if you're an enthusiastic learner, energetic, hardworking individuals who wants to learn, ADI is the right place. And in analog devices, we believe we can be ahead of what's possible, and we'd like you to be part of our team to realize that vision, to bring forward technology that's ahead of what's possible. Thank you. Back to you, Yan.
Thank you, Ms. Ya. And finally, let me invite Ms. Koay Lin, Group Chief Financial Officer of Greatech Technology Berhad, for her sharing entitled Together We Automate the World. Please welcome Ms. Koay.
Okay, thanks, Yan. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, InvestPenang and Penang Cat Center for inviting me to speak today. Today, I will cover about careers in Penang and introduction of our company, namely Greatech. Starting off with the introduction, Greatech is one of the world's leading factory automation solution provider involved in the design, development, and production of system, machinery, and equipment for automating manufacturing processes. We have our own in-house CNC machining and sheet metal facility and offer our customer a single source comprehensive solutions from conceptualization, engineering development, prototyping, system integration to installation and commissioning. We are homegrown local Malaysia company. All the design and the product is designed in Penang and made in the Penang and Kulim, Kedah. We listed on the ACE market of Bursa Security in June 2019, and within 18 months, we transferred to the main market of Bursa Securities Malaysia on December 2020. Our mission is always dedicated to be a market leader in factory automation by delivering cutting-edge solutions. Next, please. At Greatech, we foster a high-integrity, diverse, and inclusive work environment based on a strong corporate value of integrity, innovation, performance, customer satisfaction, care and respect, and teamwork. These are the intrinsic principles that lead us to create values for our shareholders and achieving sustainable goals for our businesses. Next, please. In this slide, I will talk about some of our business journey from a local SME to large company. Greatech was founded in 1997 and is headquartered in Penang, Malaysia. We started with an 18,000 square feet factory in a plot B of phase 3 Bayang Lepas. Subsequently, we bought over plot C, which is our neighboring factory, extending our fruit to Lunas and Kulim with 6 factories now. Lunas and Kulim, we have our own in-house CNC machining and also sheet metal. We moved into our new headquarters in Bayang Lepas, Penang in year 2020, which is a plot A. In year 2021, we further expanded to Batu Kawan, Penang with a new factory of 130,000 square feet and started our business operation in Wixom, Michigan, US early this year with a 16,000 square feet factory. Next. Our expansion journey continued. We started to construct our second Batu Kawan factory in February this year and in the mid of finalizing the purchase of another new piece of land in Batu Kawan. By next year, we should have approximately 1 million square feet facility to cater for our business growth. Other than Malaysia, we also have a service support office in China, Vietnam, and other areas of US. We are also targeting to set up sales office in Germany, India, and Ireland soon. Next. As a leading automation machine maker, we strive to rapidly create ideas into commercially viable products and drive our business growth. Hence, we place significant concentration in technology and development. Currently, our technology development division is split to 10 business units, led by respective business unit managers, reporting directly to our CEO. The market that we serve are solar, energy storage, smart devices, glass substrate, semiconductor, life science, consumer goods, and automotive. So some of the business units are like tin firm, life science, battery for electric vehicles, instrument control, vision, laser, semicon sensor, optical system, vision inspection, and also IoT and Industrial 4.0. Next. Okay, this slide I will talk about the Young Engineering Program of Greatech. Employees are the driving force of our business growth and sustainability. It is important to establish a comprehensive program to build up skill sets and mold the next generations of innovators. We started this Young Engineering Program, which we call YEP, in 2018 to develop the strengths and knowledge of young engineering graduates for automation industry. We officially launched this program in 2019. Over the past 3 years, more than 200 fresh graduate engineers was hired and trained in Greatech. This is a comprehensive program specially designed to cater for the respective job scope. For 2021, that total of 124 young engineers is already hired. Another 20 to be hired. Sorry, another 200 to be hired before end of 2021. Next, please. Okay, I would like to introduce the Young Engineer Program, the entire journey. The YEP is a permanent employment in Greatech. It is designed to provide engineering graduates with the optimal start to their careers with our groups. We have a structured onboarding process like buddy system to facilitate the rapid integration of a new staff at a group. A series of technical knowledge and soft skill development program will be held for the whole 12 months period. On the 3rd month, we engage with employees to receive their constructive feedback through Employees Proposition Survey Part 1. On the 5th month, we continue to engage with employees through the Employee Proposition Survey Part 2. Upon 6th month, we review the performance and probation of these participants and provide a confirmation to them with a salary adjustment. We will continue to give training to these young engineers and review their performance together with the team working with them on the potential value that these new engineering graduates may bring to our group. Next. Okay, these are the training program that we conducted for the YEP, the young engineer. We have a mechanical orientation program and also software orientation program. Mechanical orientation is catered for mechanical design engineers, and the software orientation is catered for the software engineers. So the young engineer will go across several departments, namely QA, CNC machining, sheet metal work, assembly and installation. And for the software side, it is the same as a mechanical. Young engineer will go across department training that will involve assembly and installation, and also the electrical. Electrical here is mean electrical design, where the participant will be trained on how to carry out the schematic diagram of a machinery. So there is also the own department on the job training, and also the internal and external training programs that we design for these young engineers. Next, please. Okay, the total training hours, the young engineers in mechanical design, they will receive 196 hours of training, and for the software side, they will receive 70 hours of training. In 2020, we have invested 52 hours of training for all the engineers, irrespective of the job grades. Either they are fresh graduate or experienced. They will gain some skill set to upgrade themselves along their career journey with us. Next, please. These are some of the testimonial by our young engineer. Overall, they are pleased, and we are also pleased with the feedbacks. Next, please. The engineering career development plan. After completing the young engineering program, these engineers, they will continue their journey in their respective team and exposed to a variety of projects. Training will be held at a constant basis to ensure they master the necessary soft skill and also the hard skills, which is the technical skill on the job. as we work on a turnkey project basis, every engineer will have a chance to lead the project and present their machine design to customers, and working together with those leading technology players for machine design, as well as international travel for installation and commissioning of the project that they are working on. Every half year, they will have a performance review to ensure career progress and reward high-performing engineers. Within 2 to 5 years, this engineer, they can then advance from the E1 level to E2 level. On the engineering development path, they can then be raised to a senior, which is the E3, or the staff engineer, the E4 roles. Eligible engineers will also be entitled to go on people management career path and also holding the managerial positions. Next. Okay, this is the slide. This covers the learning organization at Greatech. Knowledge sharings are open to all employees. Everyone is encouraged to participate regardless of engineering or support staff. Employees with senior level or above will be encouraged to conduct sessions for employees. So we have this train the trainer program where we send the employees to be a trainer, and this trainer will be training the new joint employees. So to promote and encourage a reading culture at Greatech, all employees, we granted them a study time off that they can bring their own books or refer to the list of books available at our reading corner. We also have a study and exam leave reserved for employees joining in courses relevant to their job scope. And as part of upskilling, we also encourage employees to further their study in a planned program of study through the Greatech Educational Assistance Program, which will effectively put them in the right position for their career development path. Next, please. In terms of the corporate social corporate social responsibility, Greatech is committed to positively impact the local community by supporting the social program and educational program with a focus on STEM, which is a mentoring program for youth with the main objective to promote the STEM education across the community. During this trying time, we have also conducted a number of collaboration with the local colleges or university, and also we set up this scholarship fund, where this is a special fund for employees dependent who need financial assistance to further their study at PNDC. 150,000 each for TAR College and Utah to support their research collaboration for 3 years. We started this program in year 2020 to year 2022. And also recently we support Penang State e-learning PC program, where we have contributed 200 laptops for underprivileged children, as well as this STEM empowering program for high school students in collaboration with TAR UC and Penang Science Cluster, with the objective to promote STEM educations from to those youth level. Next, please. Okay, some of the community investment during this pandemic time, we donated 1.2 million worth of medical equipment to Penang GH, which specifically used for COVID-19 patients receiving treatment in ICU. So we have also contributed 640,000 to Penang Welfare Association for mentally retarded children, where they have built a new building. And also the Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina Tantong and 50 computer sets to the Penang Chinese Girls High School. We also make a donations to IPUA Penang to assist the caring of for the stray animals. Next, please. Some of the employees' engagement and privileges. Next. Okay, these are some of the employee engagement activity that we carry out. We have an employee satisfaction survey, which conducted yearly to engage with feedbacks and suggestions by employee. So far in year 2020, we have achieved 77.7 satisfaction level with those survey conducted. And also we have set up this Great Care Committee Various staff activities are organized to create bonding and teamwork among employees and promote work-life balance. Cultural, sports, and also CSR activity, including the badminton sessions, karaoke, festive celebration, outreach to the communities, like sending the gift to children during Christmas, and also the beach cleanup activities, and many more. So we have also this innovation committee to promote the culture of innovation among our employees. We have the Innovation Day in April, where employees participated and presented their solutions with the winners award in a cash prize. For the Techno Hub, this is a center set up by Greatech, which provide the equipment for hands-on training, R&D, and proof of concept. We have basic training kits such as the PLC system, PC-based software, Arduino board, and also motion control kits where employees are free to explore and learn. Next. Okay, some of the rewards and benefits that we offer to those eligible employees, such as increment and bonuses. We have a contractual bonus, mid-year and year-end performance bonus. We offer share option and share grant to employees. And also there is an annual increment for their during the performance reviews. We also provide medical and health benefit like group insurance, medical card, optical, dental, and health screening, and also outpatient clinical treatment. Other privileges like there is plenty of learning opportunity from our customer who are the global technology leaders. And so also we have ongoing departmental team building and some in-house facilities where employees they can enjoy like gym and also sports room. Next, please. So some of the open position, we encourage the fresh graduate and also those experienced people seeking for jobs to apply. Some of the open positions are mechanical designers, electrical design engineers, software, vision, and so on. You may contact us at the number stated here, and also visit our web or the social media. Most importantly, email us your resume at hr@greatech-group.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Koay. Now, let's move on to the Q&A session. Appreciate if all the speakers can switch on your camera for this session. So I would like to invite Ms. Ashley Huang, Vice President of Communication and Business Intelligence and Talent Programs of InvestPenang to moderate the Q&A session. Over to you, Ms. Ashley.
Thanks, Yan. Well, a very good morning to everyone. Yeah, what a great way to spend this early part of Saturday. We have just heard from these 4 incredible companies offering promising career paths, diverse roles, and different work culture. And you have this opportunity to hear firsthand from these leaders. So there were some questions being raised from the floor, but we have more to come. And these are the ones that I would like to quickly dive into with our speakers here today. So the first question, it's on Zaiem, right? Well, being in the pioneer team in Penang, I'm sure it's very exciting. You mentioned earlier LAM's research guiding principles. So to be a LAM research talent, what do you look for in a candidate, and what does one need to bring to the table? And I'm sure everyone want to know one can expect from working in LAM research, say as an engineer or a technical specialist.
Okay.
If you can enlighten us.
Sure. So for one thing is we'll start with my personal learning. So when I signed up for this job in August 2020, many people told me, "It must be crazy, you're giving up." I was in another company. I was comfortable, it was easy, I knew what I had to do. And moving to a company like LAM, which was a greenfield, was definitely a challenge, right? It's completely new, it's completely different. So the first thing we look for in candidates is resilience. Resilience is a very important trait especially in today's COVID world. We get changes, we get notification. We've had times where our production had to stop, our construction had to stop. There are continuous changes. So being able to accept and adapt to those changes are very important. I'll share with you guys an experience. Somewhere in May, we were hiring something like 30 people a month, right? 30 people, easy, about 7 or 8 a week, right? Really not that difficult. And suddenly we had a ramp and we needed to speed up recruitment by 100%. So we started onboarding 60 to 70 people a month, and we needed to catch up what was past as well. So it is that kind of strategic adaptability that is something that we look for in our candidates that come in. Now, I'm aware that this is a largely fresh grad audience, and what we look for in fresh grads, and I've always said this, is the ability to get their points across during an interview. When you meet most fresh grads, they are fairly quiet. It's also largely due to our education system, which pretty much teaches us to listen. It doesn't encourage dissent. I remember a couple of years ago when I was still studying, one thing that we were always told is read, understand, memorize, put it on paper, right? That is the tale of Malaysian education. And when you come out to the working world, it's completely different, right? It's no longer like that. So we look for people who can speak up. One of our core values is actually open communication. If there is a problem, we want you to call it out. We want you to tell us. And sometimes we plan these in interviews, right? We say stupid things and hope for people to call us out. And it almost never happens with fresh grads. So those are two things. And I think you asked was it the benefits of being an engineer and a technical specialist? Right. So that's question 3. So benefits for question 3, LAM has a very wide range of benefits. I assure you, it is at the very least above market, right? Apart from the norm of 50th percentile salary, we also have profit sharing, stocks. All of you here, it's no secret, you guys can Google. LAM's share price is close to 700 USD per share. Recently, it's dropped to 600. I mean, but it'll keep going up. And finally, what I would encourage all of you to think about is beyond all these things, right? Because everybody's compensation package will be different and what they look for is different. Look for the opportunity to learn and handle completely new technology. Technology that is so different, so unique, that you will actually be able to develop and grow, right? So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Ashley.
Yes, I think it probably answered a lot of the participants' question. I think the part of having the share options and things like that, I think that's something very interesting to the young minds. Well, yeah.
If I may add on, we also pay for your holidays at LAM.
Oh,
I'll put that out there and leave it at that. If you get the job offer, we'll talk about it.
I mean, what more, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, LAM Research, no doubt, is a global leading company, yeah. And Batu Kawan being the largest manufacturing facility here in Malaysia, and that echoes great potential. And knowing that you have actually more than 600 open positions out there, and the many roles that you're hiring, I mean, that's just great prospect for any talent that's looking to join your organization. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Zaiem.
And we pay for your holidays.
Yes, you have reiterated that. Can I join? Okay, now let's switch over to DELL. We'll come back to you, Zaiem. Well, this question is for Suyin. In one of your slides, you mentioned extensively on leveraging technology as the new approach of doing accounting and finance work in DELL. Now, say I'm an auditor, right, from a local firm or one from a small local company. Now, how do I integrate into this kind of work environment? I mean, what kind of training or opportunities that DELL would help to provide me? if you can share that with us.
Sure. That's a very good question. So I think irrespective of what background are you from, right? I think as long as you join us with the right and open mindset, right? The mindset is you're going to, be very open and be very willing to learn new skills. Then you'll find that learning within DELL is limitless. From a whole perspective, we have online instructor-led classes. I mean, I told you all that we are 100% remote right now, but the learning doesn't stop, right? So we have all these, and even we dedicated a whole DELL Learning Studio, right, where we allow learning on demand, right? For example, if you're unable to make an online class, you can always, sign up for another class on demand and attend the class, right, when time permits, right? The classes are not just technology, right? I say that technology shows you the possibility, but you also have to learn the soft skills to be able to use technology, to be able to lead with technologies, right? So it has both hard and soft skills. And then specifically for our finance and accounting, we've also developed what we call Org of the Future. So we have a dedicated kind of website and support group, right, where we have virtual chatbots to, help you try to understand the art of possibilities within accounting and finance. We have use cases, right, of how technologies are being used in other departments. And we have this support group that's able to connect you with the various global SMEs, right? If we have good kind of projects from any part of the world, right, and you want to do something, in Malaysia, right, we can connect you with, the SME across the globe, right? We believe, learning from diverse kind of situations and background typically prompt even more innovation and creativity. Apart from, excuse me, apart from all these tools, right, more importantly, I think, is to dabble yourself with, I'm so sorry, dabble yourself with the technology. You pick a program and do it, right? And we value your insights. We value your perspective. Technology is not everything because remember, it's about human and machine collaboration. So you do have experience and insights from your previous company. We want you to look at a process, right? Do not go and automate a bad process, right? You are process engineers in your own sites. Use your experience, look at it. Do you have to enhance the the process first before you think about, automating it, right? So technology is important, but we want to adopt technology with a lot of, kind of human insights, human experience, right? So that we actually get the best of both worlds. So I think in short, a lot of tools, a lot of facilities, a lot of support group, but don't forget, you must have brought something on the table. You must have earned your seat. So trust yourself in terms of your experience. Come in, be open, openly communicate. You'll find that you'll be able to, integrate with DELL very easily. We're a bunch of, easygoing person, very agile, very open, very open to discuss about possibilities, innovation. So yeah, I hope that answers the questions. Yeah.
Thanks, Suin. I think, you've mentioned you've grown in DELL for what, 20 years, and I think you've seen, and how things have changed, in terms of doing accounting, the conventional ways and right now. And I just want to add to that. Earlier you shared how one can also evolve in their accounting and finance career path. I love the way you have structured it. You have shown, the rotational opportunities. And what really drew me in was really the global networking and the possibility of international assignments. Yeah, I think that's really vast potential for DELL. Yeah, I mean, that DELL offers. So for the young minds, trust me, that's really appealing. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next question is for Analog, Hui Ping. If a fresh electrical engineer student, well, like your earlier self, you were spoiled for choice, for the many E&E companies to join. What is the next big thing that Analog Devices is embarking on? And how would that play an integral role in one's career growth and advancement in, say, the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Like I mentioned in the earlier slides, we are growing, and we're currently building a 7-story building behind us. And what it means is we're in the midst of a very huge manufacturing and engineering transfers from all around the ADI global sites. Okay, we are one of the sites that are centralized and being identified as the center of excellence. So what we offer is that learning and talent planning opportunity to our new hire. We want you to be part of our success stories. We want you to be the key players in these big transitions and projects, especially those cross-country international assignment projects and transfer activities. I know it might be tough, but I'm sure you'll greatly value these experiences at very early stage. You know, these are the building blocks to your career development journey while you participate. And to be practical, life is a competition. Good thing is these competitions among the fresh grads in ADI is not too rigorous. And to emphasize here, so long as you are able to demonstrate your performance and passion, you'll get an equal chance to participate in all of these projects or even assignments across different sites. And we have very good managers and seniors to coach you, importantly, with the ratio that I just mentioned. More than 80% of them are seniors, less than 20% of them are juniors. So there's a good room for you to learn, as well as for you to demonstrate your capability, your energy, and your passion, your creativity, as someone young, as someone that's fresh into our company. And your first 3 to 5 years is actually a golden period. You know, take as much as possible. I mean, for my advice to the youngsters here, take as much chance as possible for you to learn and also to hit the speeding paddle, because this is the best moment for you to accelerate, right? You have to enjoy the learning journey, and it will naturally bring you to the growth in the company. Okay.
Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I think it's great to hear from you. You know, the technology innovation that's shaping, that takes shape behind Analog's business, and how that will help set apart employees from their peers in similar related industries. I think one of the great things about global organizations is also the ability to grow cross-functionally. Yeah. Okay. Let us now move to a well-established, homegrown, public listed company. Yeah, Greatech. Then if you could enlighten us on this interesting question. You mentioned earlier, there's huge expansion plan for Greatech, and you're hiring a lot of engineers. So as a fresh engineering graduate, what would compel me to join a large local company versus, say, a multinational company? Can you share your insights?
Very interesting question. Greatech is one of the largest automation company in Malaysia. We specialize in designing customized equipment for some of the big players in the headquarters, which is in US, like the Fortune 500 companies. In fact, we are here to cater for candidates who have a strong passion towards the mechanical, software, electrical design, and they love design and develop machine from scratch. This will be a place where those young engineer or fresh graduate, they can unleash their innovation ideas and gain new insights every day, because you got the chance to work together with customer from the initial conceptual design up to the final commissioning of machines. Those engineers, they are required to meet face-to-face with the customer, and also they will be present at the customer's premise in US or any place of the world to work together with the customer on the project or commissioning of the machines. We also offer a permanent position for every fresh graduate that are shortlisted by us. Although we are a local homegrown companies, we do have our internal talent development program, which I shared just now, for us to compete well with multinational for talent. As a fast growth company, of course, the learning curve is steep, but on the other hand, there is also the chance to climb faster up the career ladder. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Well, you know, Greatech has come a long way. Yeah, you're more than what 20 years in this industry, right? So I'm certain any talent can expect equal opportunities with Greatech. And I always believe opportunities are found anywhere, as long as the attitude and the mindset is in the right place to learn and continue learning. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So time has kind of caught up with us as well, but before we wrap this up, I do want to give a quick roundtable to the speakers. Yeah, if they could impart any closing thoughts that our participants can take away with them. Zaiem, if you could take the lead on this one.
Sure. So what I always encourage fresh grads, and actually this was one of the answers in one of the questions posted in the Q&A box as well. Don't limit yourself, right? A lot of fresh grads, oh, I studied science, I want to do something related. And that's fine, but don't limit yourself to doing something so aligned to your workplace that you miss the forest for the trees. A lot of opportunities come about here. Personally, I studied law, ended up doing HR. Here I am today. And really, it doesn't mean that whatever's, so, okay, I get a lot of flack for this because I tend to beat up on the Malaysian education system, right? And I'm sharing from my personal experience. Growing up, I wasn't a good student. I was playful. I would skip class to go to a nearby cyber cafe and all those things, right? Very 18-year-old things to do. And what
lecturers had this tendency of telling me, you're not going to be successful, right? Yes. So I also encourage all of you that if you don't have the best degree, if you don't have the best results as a result, don't feel bad about yourself. Because when I was graduating, I actually felt so bad about my degree that I did not attend graduation, right? It is unfortunate. People will, I mean, it is important to have good education, no doubt. But just because you made a couple of mistakes, it doesn't mean that that's the end of your career. Think about how you can recover from it. So if at that point you have to do a day-to-day job, do it. Think about the career. Think about how you can make the most of it. In 2010, when I started my career, I was carrying smocks. And famously, my then boss was like, are you serious? You studied law and now you're carrying smocks around. It's fine. Use it as an experience. Use it as a way to go forward. And that's what I will leave the youngsters out there. Don't give up, regardless of what they tell you. Yes, and that is actually a personal reflection, very personal reflection.
Thanks, Zaiem, for being so honest. But truly, I kind of resonate a little bit with you. I mean, I'm an accountant as well. I mean, I'm an accountant, and I've also evolved into HR and business development. So I think the key here is you got to be open as well. Yeah, open as well to opportunities that come your way and seize it.
And don't feel bad if it didn't go well, right? You're entitled to make mistakes and recover from it. It's not all downhill from there.
Okay, ladies.
Go ahead.
I'm opening up to you to have any closing thoughts. Feel free to just chime in.
Yeah, Zaiem, thanks for sharing that. I cannot help but just, add on, like, your past doesn't define you, right? I know today I come and I talk about DELL Technologies leadership program, right? Yes, it's premium and all those, but don't forget, you can still join us, as normal hires, right? Even if you don't pass your mark, right, for the leadership program, because, I'm a strong believer that your attitude determines your altitude. Right? Yes, you may not have the flashiest of the results or everything. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if you have that mindset to go in and prove yourself, right? Speaking up, right? When, hey, your idea may be different, or defend certain things that you feel strongly about, right? And be willing to speak up, be willing to differentiate yourself. I've got candidates who send in video applications because they felt that, hey, their grades may not be as good, but I admire you wanting to, differentiate yourself, you wanting to show your values, you want to bring something to the tables, right? I think the first step you have got to start is believe yourself. Your past doesn't define you, right? Stay in the present. You have every opportunity to, change your future, right? And irrespective of which level in your career, but very importantly, at entry level, seize the opportunity, right? Take action, apply now, right? Upskill yourself, right? And for those outside Penang, right? I mean, you see that there are opportunities. For DELL, we are working remotely, right? Of course, I'm not in a position to say that, hey, I'm going to. we do still need you all to eventually relocate to Penang, but like internship, right? We're onboarding people across different states virtually, right? You get your laptop developed, sent to your house so that we can onboard you. Let's try it out. If you really have what it takes, then we discuss, right? So, I don't want to take all the time, but take actions, I guess. You define your own career.
Love that program where you send the laptop over to internships for the internship program. Okay, Hui Ping, Lyndon, any closing thoughts?
Thank you, Ashley. So I still hope that the audience remember what I said about the once upon a time story that I've told earlier, and I just want to cover that with a couple more points or top it up with a few more factors that I think would make one successful. That's personally from me. I think one of it is an inner factor. First of all, as a newcomer, as a fresh grad, as a freshman, you need to learn to love and enjoy what you do. You don't need the company, your bosses or lecturer to convince you what you like, and also to make you like what you're doing. You in fact need to convince yourself and hypnotize yourself that I love doing it. I really, really love doing it. Because in one eye, a job could be very mundane, but to the other eye, you find ways to make the job more interesting once you enjoy it, and you'll do well. And because of it, I think if you're passionate about your subject, your job, your task, you'll enjoy it, you'll find ways to learn, you'll improve it, and you'll showcase the best of you. And at the end of the day, you will prove that you are the best candidate that will carry you to the next level. That's the first point. Now, the second thing is I also think that opportunity is very important. A place that can offer you to shine and to showcase your best is where you want to land your feet. You don't want to be a mediocre in a big pool or big pond. And if you are good, you're passionate, you're enthusiastic, you're smart and hardworking, you should be a star. And we want superstars here, and we want to make you one. So in short, ADI will be a great place to allow you to grow and shine, provided you have the heart and you have the energy and you want to drive that. Okay.
Totally agree. The heart and the right mindset takes you a long way. Yeah. Okay. Lin, you have the pleasure of closing this.
I
wrap. Yeah.
Thanks, Ashley. Okay, like what the rest of the speakers I've already mentioned, is actually the learning attitude of as a fresh graduate. You put aside the rewards. You should focus on those like what you enjoy to do, because like working, you will be spend most of the time daily. So you must spending this time on those that you passion or you love to do, instead of maybe you got a high pay, but you are not happy working, and every day you imagine you have to face those job that you don't like.
I think to be passionate in one's work, sometimes you got to make it your passion. I think there's always different angles of looking how your job could be very rewarding. Yeah, I think that's what you're trying to impress on the participants. Well, thank you very much, Lyndon. Well, that's all we have actually for this morning. But there's so much pertinent and insightful information. And what I really appreciate was the speakers really giving very real experiences, right, from their own experience, very personal experience that they've shared today. So I'm sure you're thrilled that there's so many job opportunities that's been shared here, yeah, and the many talent programs that are offered by these companies. So, and one other thing too is that these companies, they also are they're very well-rounded, right? They also have humanitarian programs. And one of the key important thing is that their commitment in continuous talent development. Now, all these are key when you decide on your ideal workplace, right? So I hope this session has inspired you, and I hope that you'll place Penang as your consideration, right, to be your next workplace. It's on your screen. You can take a snapshot now, or like I said, it will be posted on the Penang Cat Facebook page as well. Yeah. And could we have the Penang Cat? There you go. So if for those who are out of Penang, outside Penang, different states, you've got questions regarding mobility questions, please reach out to my team, the Penang Cat team. We are just a call away. Yeah. So do stay tuned with us. There will be more industry speakers coming up in Q4. And we really look forward to you joining us. So have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate all the speakers spending their time here this morning with us. Thank you. Back to you, Yen.
Thank you, Ms. Ashley. So this concludes our webinar today. Thank you to all speakers for the informative and insightful section. So due to the limited time, we apologize if we did not cover your questions during the Q&A session. However, feel free to get in touch with LAM Research, DELL Technologies, Analog Devices and Greatech via the links and email addresses shown on the screen if you would like to know more about the companies. You may also reach out to Penang Cat Center via email or phone call should you have more questions. For more programs to come, do follow Penang Cat Center's Facebook, as we will share more via our Facebook page. We hope you had a great time and lots of takes away from today's session. Once again, thank you to all speakers and our fellow attendees today. Stay safe, everyone, and hope to see you again in the near future. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.